Hey guys, Mitko here from DNModels. Today we are unboxing the newest kit from MiniArt, Su-122 Initial Production. This is a self-propelled howitzer / assault gun. It is a huge box, and that is due to the fact that the kit features full interior. Seeing that logo, I can bet that this is going to be a new benchmark for MiniArt kits with interior included. A bit over 800 parts, almost 100 of which are photo etched. It sounds like a promising assembly. Instruction sheet is a typical MiniArt luxurious paper with detailed colored guide inside for the entire build. We have a little history and then short description of the sprues. This isn't exactly short because we have many of them. The assembly starts with the engine, which is extremely detailed and thorough. You can get the idea of it through the glimpse in the sheet, but to let it sink in completely, you gotta get your hands over this kit. Then additional interior parts and transmission are next. You will see in a bit how crisp and detailed those parts are. Almost everything you can find on the real vehicle is here, and it's made with accuracy and precision. The engine, transmission and driver's compartment needs a lot of work, and as you can see, they spread through 29 steps of assembly. Next comes the suspension, which is separate for each strut and spread through sub-assemblies, which are a bit intimidating. They will probably require your full attention and decent amount of free time for completion. Next come additional part of the interior position on the sides, the tanks, some ammunitions and sub-assemblies for the inside as well as for the suspension. It will be tricky to show everything you got inside of this kit because if you really want to, you have to leave most of it unassembled. The M30S gun is also spread through a decent amount of part. Firewall and back wall are there too, so in case you want to miss something from the interior or leave it outside of the completed model, this is presented as an option too. Clever decision from engineers here is to let the sides of the vehicle be separate parts. That gives you the option to let them aside and shine out the whole interior. Overall, the whole exterior build is nothing way too complex, and those 800 parts go mostly in the tracks and in the interior pieces. Grills on the back are with the presented option as well. You can choose from photo etch ones or standard plastic parts. This is done too to ease up the work in case you want or not want to show off the interior work you have done. The fenders and the fuel drums as well as some other minor parts are next. Fuel drums on T34 series was always a discussion amongst modelers, but I think MiniArt did their best to make them as real and detailed as possible. We have the well-known collaboration with MIG and MiniArt and the camo schemes with suggested MIG paints, which guarantees color precision. Typical Russian green vehicles, two options on the first page, different one from another solely by the numbering. Next we have winter camo scheme with numbers painted over old number, which is pretty neat, and then again green vehicle. The sprue are molded in gray plastic material with very little flash and even better than before details. All of the molding lines are there, and even if texture is absent on some of the flat surfaces, it is molded into the most important parts of the howitzer. Everything is engineered in a way that will leave you with an option to show the insides. The bigger sprues hold most of the nicest details, and as you can see, and I bet appreciate, the quality, the standard that MiniArt presents us with. Again, lack of texture is something that rings a bell or two, but with rough brush and liquid putty, this is a solvable problem. There are many small parts, but general ones are few. The first one though are the ones with the finest textures, the corrugation, details and add-ons. The new plastic material that MiniArt are using promises ease of assembly too. No cracks or useless trouble as before. The gun is made from separate halves, which might not be the best decision, but it's a common practice and you gotta deal with it. The good news here is that there is very little flash or molding marks, and the plastic allows you easy treatment. To be honest, some of the small parts are mystery to me looking them on the sprues, but once the building starts, everything should come into place and become understandable. The engine parts are usually my favorite sprue. Details on that one are awesome in any way. They compare only to the D7 and T44 kits, again from MiniArt. The wheels are detailed from every possible viewing point, and even though there is a seam line, they're wonderful. Wear them with the rotary tool won't take much time, will add realism, and will solve seam line problem. The other parts seen here are very nice too, and I assume that the springs are pretty flexible, just like on the D7 kit. Then comes several sprue with the idlers, exhaust covers, and many sprue with fuel drum parts, suspension parts, and shell parts. No compromises with the details, and still you can leave some of those aside and still be happy with the rest. We have two types of tracks. They are extremely detailed, as you can see here. Since T34 tracks are two types of pads, MiniArt did the same and separated them onto two types of sprues. The detail on them is superb, and if you look closely you will see that even the real molding numbering is applied on them in 35th scale. The assembly of those isn't tricky, does not give you headaches, and I believe the only better solution is using metal tracks. On the other hand, these should do the job just fine. Then we have few more sprues with sub-assembly parts, which, considering the amount of interior, are essential too. We have one more example of texture and lack of it, but that is all that can be found to be wrong on that kit. We have clear parts, decals, and photo etch. Decals are great, but the ones with the chipped numbers will be better exchanged for a mask and chipped paint afterwards. The effect will be more realistic. The photo etch sheet contains about 100 parts and it's very thin, very clear, and very nice. Be careful when you sand this, if you sand photo etch at all. So that was it with the MiniArt's Su-122 kit with interior. I am stunned by the amount of detail that can be found inside of that small vehicle. In my opinion, it won't be suitable for beginners, at least not for painting after assembly. However, for mid to high level modelers, this is a dream kit with everything inside of one box. MiniArt are 15 years on the market and they are already putting new standards out there. It is very interesting what will come out from them next. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful kit unboxing. Subscribe if you liked the video, comment down below, hit the like button, and see you in the next one.